My 17 female boyfriend, 16 male, wants me to join his parents' MLM so we can be rich. Hey there, I need advice please. My boyfriend's parents are in Amway and they apparently make enough money back for them to keep investing on it. I must say they're not the problem. They're the loveliest and nicest set of parents I have ever met, and have never talked to me about Amway even with my boyfriend asking them to. They're good and I really like them. The problem is my boyfriend in this particular thing. He's been brainwashed by his parents' mentors and calls them his mentors as well. He's talking all the time about him making me join the business, and that I need to help him in the business, so I won't need to study systems engineering, which is what I want to study. He's also trying to push me to watch the Amway videos, join the shitty Zoom meetings, read the books and all the fake shit they promote so I can learn. Now me having a lot of relatives that can't shut the fuck up about Herbalife, Mary Kay or other crappy scammy MLMs. This is beyond pissing for me, but I'm trying to be polite because his parents aren't the problem. He's the one who can't stop talking about Amway and me joining so I could make a lot of money, and that he wants to sell expensive shit to my mom. Hehe, I don't ever want a future personally involving MLM, ever. But I do want my boyfriend and his parents in my future. How can I make him know thinking MLM can't be his future at all? He deadass thinks he can become millionaire with Amway because the shitlords there said they were homeless and broke as fuck, but they spent all their money on Amway and woohoo were rich with 10 mansions and 100 sports cars. Join us now. Fuck Amway. Advice please for how to tell him that without being rude, because he's the kind of guy that think that a girl saying fuck is not ladylike, and fuck that too, but I love the guy, thank you. Edit. I'm not gonna stop pursuing my systems engineering degree nor stop saying fuck nor join Amway just because my boyfriend told me so. I do have a mind of my own. All I'm asking for is what to do. It's the same as any other cult. You can't force a person out. The best you can do is let them know you'll be there for them when they leave. I'm sorry, but you need to prepare yourself for the fact that you might lose him over this. You can set a boundary about him talking to you about Amway or pitching the business to you. Make it an off-limits topic. I would be shocked if he respects this boundary, but you can try. Focus on having fun with him now, but don't bank on a future with him. He's been fully indoctrinated by his parents and their social circle. This thing is going to thoroughly ruin his financial future, and if you tie yourself to him by getting married, combining finances, or living together, you're going to thoroughly ruin your financial future, too. This is a cult. Don't drink anything they offer you. Keep your butthole covered at all times. The good news, you're young, so it's easy to find a new boyfriend who isn't a moron. He's the kind of guy that think that a girl saying fuck is not ladylike. Oh girl. I'm sorry you are with a guy like this. Misogynistic and brainwashed by an MLM. You are going to look back on this in like 10 years and be like, yeah, I was just a kid. Fuck Amway. You've got a good head on your shoulders in that you recognized the snake in the grass before it struck you. This relationship likely has an expiration date that will be triggered when you give the hard no. Do not play along, you may become susceptible if you do. Calmly, quietly, disappear and block their phone numbers and social media. One thing that helped me when friends were doing the Amway thing was simply this. I countered every pitch with a request to see the last 2 check stubs from their profit or pay or whatever they were claiming. They never came across with them. Always an excuse. Rolling on the floor laughing. That went on for a couple years until they lost all their money, then they settled back down and went back to work. I do bring it up from time to time. I'm not that nice a guy. Reading through some of your comments and replies, I have a question. Why ask a question asking for advice and then tell everyone with advice differing what you want to hear to basically fuck off? You're 17. I get you think you know everything, we've all been there. Maybe your brainwashed boyfriend isn't the one. Maybe you can't change his mind, maybe you can. Do you have any right to demand he doesn't follow this dream, even if it's foolhardy? You seem to want an echo chamber, want only advice you want to hear. I literally had no idea what Amway or MLM was 5 minutes ago, but I just went on Google and I already know this shit is a pyramid scheme and can ruin relationships. Has he not seen all the articles and videos of previous distributors bashing Amway? If not, I guess try showing them to him. I've lost my friends in an MLM they all joined, ACN. My only advice is to either get your boyfriend out of it, or break it off with him. It's a literal cult, and his new friends will manipulate him to make an enemy out of you, and anyone that talks him out of it. A lot of relationships, families, lives have been destroyed from these things, and it can absolutely happen to you too. And one more thing. You might want to cross-post to r anti-MLM for more insight into how to deal with your situation. I don't want to spend my life selling stuff. That's why I'm studying engineering. It's not about the money. Yeah, Amway people are weird. I once had a client make me watch videos to try and indoctrinate me into their little cult. I was basically turned off on the idea that I would have to pimp my wares to everybody I knew, and turn everybody into a mark. I think those people hired me to consult about a home recording studio just so they could pitch me. I still made $200 that day, but they were pissed I wouldn't bite on the Amway, and they never had me back. The guy's wife was dagger-eyed mad I wouldn't bite, even, just for the discount on stuff you buy anyway. Join the old people Facebook group. Sounds like an MLM, but okay. Amway is disastrous, I beg you do not get in. The only reason they aren't hounding you worse is you aren't 18. Have him watch the series on becoming a god in Central Florida on Showtime. Literally about this same scheme, different name. If he is a good BF, he will let you talk for 30 minutes without interruption if you RLLY want to sit down and show him the facts. Look, I want to talk to you about something and I know you won't agree at first. But PLS, just let me talk and then I won't bring it back up. Okay. Great, I get he's been raised this way. But if he is presented with the facts and still refuses to see logic, that's on him, and it's not someone you want to build a life with most likely. I would point out that a very small percentage of people are successful in these. SND then find all the statistics TK show him. You will never convince him, I am sorry. There is no point reasoning with him about this. You are only 17, you don't need this drama. Cut your losses and move on. You could try making your stand with him, either he quits this bullshit or you fly. It up to him. I have seen this firsthand, people trying to work around the problem, it's impossible. Go see Behind the Curve on Netflix. It's about flat earthers and the psychology behind it and why it's impossible to use logic and reason. The same applies to people in cults per milli-lumen schemes that have been brainwashed. It's impossible for an outsider to change them, they need to fall and see for themselves. Sadly, you leaving him might help him best in the long run. Don't do it. The problem is, you and his mentors are basically fighting over his beliefs. Both of you need to either convert the other or get them out of the picture. But if you win, he will feel stupid for having fallen for the scam. If they win, he will feel smart for getting rid of a toxic partner standing in the way of his future. People don't want to feel stupid. Therefore, they already have a very long lever on his mind. My advice is therefore, you need to subtly point out the flaws of such a scam in a way that he feels that he realized it on his own. If you try to force it, he will just double down like you're doing. The only way to make money off MLMs is to be a natural-born salesman, a sweet-talker and manipulator. Some of us are just not. Tell him that your personality doesn't do you any favors in sales, and even if you had the best product in the world, water of life from the fountain of youth, you wouldn't be able to make a living out of it. So you will have to find your fortune elsewhere. That worked for me. However, you might consider rethinking the relationship. I'm 38F, older and wiser, and can tell you from experience that people this deep into MLMs are more often than not financially stable life partners. You might be too young to think about that yet, but know that this boy is not life partner material, if you value financial security in your adulthood. Oh God, no, you may as well poison your own Kool-Aid and skip the middle man. Seriously, run. You're young enough that you can hope he'll grow out of this. I mean, he's only 16, so he likely has no idea what adult life is really like. Be upfront and tell him you're not sacrificing your dreams for his. He can either emotionally and mentally support you or not. You will support him in his pursuit of MLM, but tell him to not expect you to join or sell for you. Having said that, be mindful of his behavior as you grow up. Don't jump on sharing bank accounts as soon as you can and watch tying your finances together. You don't want him abusing your credit and your savings to support his MLM, especially if he can't admit it's doing poorly. You need to take care of yourself first. Just say no. You don't have to be rude. If he insists on lecturing you about the MLM, then tell him you don't want to discuss it and, let's talk about something else or I'm leaving, hanging up, and then do that if he doesn't stop. Also realize that at 16 and 17 the chances of your relationship lasting into your 20s and marriage are very slim. Time spent dating or in a young relationship is about learning if you are compatible with the other person and if they'd make a good life partner for you. If it gets to the point where you're not enjoying time with him because of this, then just say goodbye and move on. Sounds like his parents are far enough up the line to actually be making money and to know it's a scam and just haven't told him yet. Maybe show him Illuminati's videos on MLMs on YouTube. She does at least one on Amway and I think more than that. In fact, watching as many as possible might show him what a scam they are. She includes income averages for all the companies and they're all exactly the same. Keep a checking account in your name. Protect yourself. Don't get trapped. Y'all are kids. Do not get involved in this lifestyle. Chase your dreams. Dump him and his family's BS. Also fuck his gender roles, especially that ladylike BS. If you try to educate him, you have to be careful how you approach it or he will just shut you out and stop listening. His parents are doing it and from what I gather are actually earning money from it. This means that they are exploiting other people in a scam to steal their money. No kid is going to want to hear that about their parents, especially not if they are, as you said, great otherwise. Try to be tactful, but ultimately I can only parole the other in saying that you need to be prepared to break up and that it will be easier if done sooner rather than later in life. Don't let anyone stop you from pursuing an education and experience college. He is still young and maybe he can change his ways if he experiences new people and new environments after school. Have you shown him the John Oliver video on MLM? It's quite persuasive. Do you have your own job already? In school. Explain to him what you are focusing your energy on and why. And if you think he's dumb for his ideas, goals, personally I think he's dumb from what you said, sorry but the relationship might not work. Respect is important for a long-term relationship. I believe you would lose emotional attraction at some point if he continues on a path which you don't respect. Dump him now. John Oliver did an episode on MLMs. Watch it first by yourself and think if he would want to watch it. He could get extremely offended by it or it could open his eyes a bit. I need to help him in the business, so I won't need to study systems engineering. Never let anything this guy does come between you and becoming a great systems engineer. Stay with it. Even if you'd manage to convince him that Amway is not the answer, he will fall for shady schemes or come up with get-rich-soon plans in the future. Source: my dad, who's a not very successful entrepreneur, and recently, investor in scams, and my mum, who knows finance but in the end helps fund dad's business ideas to help keep him busy at least. He can think and believe as he chooses. As can you. When these beliefs and thoughts don't cross over with commonality, it's time to let go and move on. Your assignment is to form and stand by your beliefs, not his. He loves Amway more than he loves you. You either accept that Amway will always be a part of your life, or you break up. He's not going to listen to reason from you, because he's already brainwashed with nonsense from them. You're 17. Nope, right out of that situation. Anti-MLM. The people on anti-MLM may be of help finding some resources that can maybe unbrainwash him. Either one. Teach him what an MLM is or sit him down with research on what they are and how they work if he'll listen. Or 2. Explain how you wouldn't want to participate in a get-rich-quick scheme. There's so many more fulfilling avenues in life than just dumping your whole life into making money. Try making memories instead. OMG, you would love this podcast interview. Really gives a perspective of what you are going through. I would simply put it. If it is not for you, tell them it is not for you and you have other ambitions. Don't let them pressure you. MLMs survive on peer pressure. I hate to say it, but if your relationship doesn't last because of this, you are simply a recruit to their eyes. Question: why are you dating a mentally challenged person? It's a cult. I'd tell him that as I was breaking up with him. There's nothing you can do. He's brainwashed. Like anyone in a cult, he thinks he has found the answer, and he wants to share this amazing thing with you. You could show him evidence and facts and hope that he's young and has a rebellious streak to that will allow him to break with everything he's ever been told, but I doubt he'll see it your way. You might plant some tiny seeds of doubt though. In the future they may grow large enough to get him out of it, but you'll be long gone by then. Only read the title. Nope. Don't give up your dreams for a scam. Tell him that you refuse to give up on you want to do, establish that it's an uncrossable boundary and pushing it will receive no more acknowledgement. And then never ever acknowledge the discussion again. You can't make him do shit. You can't convince him. He's a lost cause. Just tell him straight out, I know you like this and think it's great. I'm not interested. I don't want to hear about it. I've listened to your opinion and I respect you enough to be honest and say I'm not interested and want you to drop it. Don't bring it up again please. Then if he brings it up again you can just fucking drop him because he doesn't respect you. What if the relationship gets serious and you get married one day? Do you want to be married to a guy in Amway who wastes all your money? Don't ask for advice if you aren't ready to hear it and only choose to lash out with an attitude. I'm old school. Wanna get 15 years wealth in the shortest time possible. Work for 15 years. Anyways for you op I get one word boundaries tell him no straight up. Google, Memo from a Pink Kool-Aid Drinker, by Perry Marshall.